Scientists have just stumbled onto something incredible. There may be millions of alien planets that show actual signs of life. And one of them, K2-18b, has atmospheric chemicals that, on Earth, come exclusively from living organisms. Not speculation. Not maybes. Real, measurable signatures that could point to alien oceans, alien ecosystems, and possibly alien biology already at work. Stick around, because if one distant ocean world is alive, there could be countless more quietly thriving far beyond our reach. The name might sound robotic, but the planet itself is anything but ordinary. K2-18b is roughly twice Earth's size and sits in a region of space where conditions get seriously interesting. And here's the jaw-dropper. Scientists detected unusual compounds in its atmosphere, the kind that could completely rewrite what we believe about life elsewhere in the universe.
This world isn't just another anti-rock drifting in space.
It's what researchers call a Hycean planet, meaning it has a thick, hydrogen-rich atmosphere wrapped around vast global oceans that could go on for hundreds of miles. Not tiny pools.
Planetary seas.
And what might be living in those alien waters? Possibly tiny organisms similar to the microscopic life that floats through Earth's oceans. Some scientists even think K2-18b could host phytoplankton-like microbes soaking up faint starlight and quietly doing their biological thing. A research team from Cambridge made the big discovery, a collection of atmospheric chemicals that, on Earth, only appear because life produces them. If you detect these gases here, something alive put them there. So if they're present on K2-18b, well, something might already be thriving beneath that hazy hydrogen sky. But here's the real mind-blower. K2-18b might not be one of a kind. There could be many more planets like it. Not dozens, millions, according to some researchers. Scattered throughout the galaxy, orbiting distant stars, hidden in the dark. Professor Peter Vickers from Durham University put it in simple terms. If K2-18b genuinely shows even a faint hint of life, then it becomes overwhelmingly likely that countless other planets do too. Like noticing one house on your street has pizza, pretty good chance others do as well. Space isn't just big. It's beyond comprehension. And for as long as humans have existed, we've been asking whether we're alone in all that vastness. With new telescopes and powerful instruments peering deeper into the cosmos, we're realizing there are far more planets out there than we ever imagined, and many are sitting right in the just right zone for life. Not too hot. Not too cold. With water? Check.
A steady energy source?
Check. An atmosphere capable of supporting biology? Quite possibly. Now imagine this not happening once with K2-18b, but over and over again across the galaxy. Hundreds, thousands, even millions of strange worlds with stranger skies, each with its own possibility of life.
Not little green alien. Not creature like us.
But life in bizarre, fascinating forms we haven't even imagined yet. This idea doesn't just challenge our assumptions. It turns everything upside down. Earth might feel like the only warm, familiar place in the universe, but discoveries like K2-18b suggest our planet may just be one cozy corner among countless others. If worlds with oceans, clouds, and the chemistry of life exist out there, then space suddenly feels a lot less empty. Astronomers are already scanning the cosmos for more of these Hycean-style planets. Using massive telescopes, they analyze how starlight filters through alien atmospheres, what gases swirl around them, and whether any of those gases match the signatures that, at least on Earth, are created only by living organisms. Even if the inhabitants of these worlds aren't intelligent or building star-spanning cities, they might still host simple life forms, bacteria, plankton, microscopic swimmers. And that alone would be a monumental discovery. Life in any form means Earth isn't unique. It means we're not alone. Earth has everything from oceans and jungles to deserts and thunderstorms. So imagine another planet out there having its own weather, its own storms, its own ecosystems.
Maybe train purple water.
Maybe forests hum instead of rustling. Maybe tiny alien creatures glow instead of swim. Talking about millions of potentially habitable planets isn't just a science class daydream. It changes how we look at the night sky. Every star might host a world that's alive. Some could be barren, sure, but others might be bursting with strange, thriving life. Scientists are fired up about it. They're not just staring at charts, they're designing sharper telescopes, decoding faint patterns in starlight, and dreaming up missions to explore these distant oceans. The goal? Build the next generation of instruments, push probes farther into space, and maybe one day visit one of these watery alien worlds. Until then, all we can do is look upward and wait for the next surprise. Every star becomes a potential home. And somewhere across that dark expanse, another species might be gazing at their own sky, wondering the same thing we do: is anyone else out there? And the search is just beginning. K2-18b is likely only the first chapter. New exoplanets are being discovered constantly. Each discovery makes the idea of extraterrestrial life more plausible.
Take the TRAPPIST, un système.
7 Earth-sized planets all circling a tiny, cool star, and several of them are right in the sweet zone for liquid water. That's a cluster scientists are especially excited about. Then there's Proxima Centauri b, orbiting the star closest to our Sun, only a little over 4 light-years away. If it has life, it would be our nearest extraterrestrial neighbor. But the search isn't just about finding more planets. It's about understanding life itself, what it needs, how it starts, and where it can survive. On Earth, life thrives in places that seem impossible: boiling springs, icy caves, deep-sea vents, inside rocks. If life can do that here, imagine what it could manage under alien conditions. And the life we find might not look anything like us. Maybe it doesn't breathe oxygen. Maybe it drinks methane or feeds on electrical currents. It could be built from molecules totally foreign to Earth's biology. That's why scientists need new tools, ones that can detect life as we don't know it. The James Webb Space Telescope is already leading the charge, peering into distant atmospheres for chemical clues. TESS finds new planets by watching for tiny dips in starlight. Every new instrument expands our list of strange, promising worlds. We may not be able to visit them anytime soon, but simply knowing they exist changes everything.
If life is common, then the universe isn't a silent wilderness.
And somewhere on one of those countless worlds, something might be crawling, swimming, or flying. Maybe it's looking up at its sky right now, wondering if we exist. People once believed Earth sat at the center of the universe. Then science showed we're just one world circling an ordinary star in a galaxy packed with billions of others. And now we're discovering there could be millions of Earth-like planets out there. It's like thinking you lived in a tiny, quiet village your whole life, only to realize there's an entire bustling city right outside your door. Some researchers are even working on tiny laser-powered spacecraft, little chips with reflective sails, that could zip to nearby stars. If the technology works, we might see actual photos of alien planets within our own lifetimes. That idea alone feels like science fiction turning into science fact. Every year, the hunt for life becomes less of a maybe someday, and more of a serious scientific goal. And it's not just about finding aliens. It's about learning whether life is a universal outcome, something that springs up naturally whenever the right mix of chemistry, energy, and environment comes together. If that's true, then Earth isn't a freak accident. We're part of a much larger cosmic pattern. Planets like K2-18b might be the first clues, not the final answer. The night sky is full of mysteries, and with each new discovery, we're slowly learning how to decode them. The story of life in the universe is still unfolding. Every new telescope adds another chapter. And somewhere out there, something else might be staring at its sky, wondering if it's alone.
The universe isn't just star and dust.
It's filled with potential, maybe even life, waiting to be found. The next time you look up at the stars, remember, one of those faint points of light could be shining down on a world with oceans, clouds, maybe even living creatures. That thought changes everything. Now imagine a sky so vast you can't grasp its edges.
Stretch it a little more.
That's what space is like. Hidden inside that immensity are not just a handful of planets, but possibly millions that resemble Earth, places that might be warm, wet, and comfortable enough for life to thrive. Not fantasy.
Actual science.
Astronomers have been digging through mountains of data, and what they've uncovered is astonishing. They've run the math, studied the signals, and concluded that there could easily be hundreds of millions of planets where life might exist. Not dozens. Not thousands. Hundreds of millions. That's the conservative estimate. And that's just within our own galaxy, the Milky Way. What we've observed so far is a microscopic sample of what's out there. It's like scooping up 1 cup of ocean water and finding a fish inside. If you catch a fish on the first try, you know the ocean must be full of them. Now replace fish with planets that could host life, and you get the idea. Astrobiologists, the scientists who study the possibility of life in the universe largely agree. When 521 of them were surveyed, more than 450 said life elsewhere is likely. Only a tiny handful disagreed. And a few weren't sure. But the majority? Fully convinced the universe is probably teeming with life.
Exoplanète K2-18b.
The name sounds like a robot model, but it's a real world orbiting a distant star in our own galaxy. It might have water, which puts it high on the list of places where life could exist. Researchers have even spotted gases in its atmosphere that might be produced by living organisms. No one is claiming alien animals or cities, but even microbes would be a massive discovery. And K2-18b is just one example. Our telescopes barely scratch the surface. Their view is like peering through a drinking straw. Beyond that narrow field is an unimaginable number of galaxies, each containing more planets than humanity could ever visit. Life doesn't need to look like us. It could be tiny, slimy, glowing, or microscopic. It might be clinging to rocks, floating in methane lakes, or swimming in alien oceans. But if it exists anywhere else, even in the simplest form, it means Earth is not the universe's only spark of life. Scientists aren't guessing. They're using physics, chemistry, math, and instruments so advanced they cost more than neighborhoods. They watch the faintest changes in starlight to identify planets that might be habitable, those that are the right size, at the right distance, with temperatures that could allow water to pool on their surfaces. There are planets out there that resemble Earth, then some of them might have the right conditions for life to take hold. Scientists even have a name for that ideal region, the Goldilocks zone, just like the story. It's the place where water can stay liquid, not frozen or boiled away. That's the sweet spot where life, at least the kind we understand, has a chance. And the search is only getting bigger. New missions are launching, and more advanced space telescopes are being built. These tools will let us look deeper into space and uncover more of those Goldilocks zones, more hints, more possible worlds, maybe even signs of alien biology. Right now, scientists feel like they're standing on the edge of something huge. It's like sensing a storm coming, except instead of rain, it's a downpour of knowledge. And who knows, maybe we'll soon learn that Earth has cousins out there. Not just empty space rocks, but real living worlds. No one is claiming it's certain, but many researchers think it's likely. Life probably isn't rare. Earth probably isn't unique. It might just be one option in a universe packed with cosmic flavors. As our technology gets better and we send more instruments into space, we'll start getting answers, not a century from now, but maybe in just a few years, possibly even within your lifetime. Every time scientists study a new patch of sky, it's like flipping over a stone to see what's hiding underneath. So far, we've barely checked a few small stones. But what we've found is enough to suggest the universe is brimming with secrets. And if life is out there, maybe it's looking up at its own sky, wondering if someone else exists too. Picture it, not just barren worlds drifting through space, but warm, green, life-friendly planets. Scientists estimate that there could be millions of these inviting little homes scattered across the cosmos. It all began when astronomers stared deep into the universe with telescopes sensitive enough to notice a slight dip in a distant star's light. That tiny flicker revealed something amazing. Many stars have planets, and some of those planets resemble Earth. Not identical, but close enough to wonder about life. Even scientists outside the field agree. When asked about the possibility of life elsewhere, nearly 9 out of 10 said yes. They weren't talking about spaceship-building aliens, just any kind of life at all. Bugs, plants, slime-dwelling organisms, anything that breathes or wiggles.
That kind of life could exist almost anywhere.
And given billions of years, who knows what it might grow into? One British scholar even said it would be stranger if Earth were the only place with life, considering how vast the universe is. Of course, some people think we should be cautious. Maybe don't broadcast into space just yet, they say. What if something is listening? What if it isn't friendly? A few argue that we should keep quiet, just in case. But more and more scientists are joining the search anyway. A researcher who writes about planets says that the latest generation of telescopes is revealing more Earth-like worlds than ever before, planets like K2-18b, which might have clouds, oceans, and who knows what else. 10 years ago, we didn't even know these planets existed. Now new ones appear almost weekly. This doesn't prove anyone is waving from a window, but it does make life elsewhere seem much more possible. And even if only a tiny fraction of those millions of planets have even the tiniest amount of life, that's still a lot of life. It's just math and probability. If you roll a die 1 billion times, you don't expect the same number every time. Earth is just one roll. There are countless more rolls happening across the galaxy. Eventually, something interesting is going to show up. And it's not just one galaxy either. Ours has over 100 billion stars, each possibly with planets. Multiply that by billions of galaxies, and the scale becomes almost impossible to grasp. No wonder scientists are leaning forward, paying attention, and saying, there might be something out there. Think of Earth as a cozy island in a never-ending ocean. Life took ages to appear here, but once it did, it exploded into everything: trees, animals, insects, humans. If it happened here, it could happen somewhere else, even if we haven't seen it yet. And if some alien life forms had millions of years more time than we did, they might be astonishingly advanced, or maybe they're still in the slime stage. Nobody knows, and that's what makes it exciting. Scientists aren't slowing their search. They're building sharper, more powerful telescopes that can see deeper and clearer into the cosmic dark. Every year brings new discoveries, a new planet here, a weird signal there. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's strange enough to investigate again. And here's the big question: what if they've already found something, and just haven't told us yet? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more.